With home prices continuing to increase because supply cannot meet demand, interest rates pushing 5%, inflation now at 8.5%, which we have not seen since the early 80s, there's gotta be a break in this market soon, you would think. So have we reached the peak in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast? That's what we're talking about today. But just a side note, if we're getting all this bad stuff from the early 80s, maybe we could go back to early 80s music, like early 80s new wave, penny loafers, Calvin Klein jeans. Don't forget those members only jackets.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind.
Hi my friends, if this is the first time you've been to my channel, my name is Lee Brickey, and on this channel we talk about real estate, mortgages, and money, and today we're talking about the real estate market in the Treasure Coast in northern Palm Beach County. So we're going to cover Port St Lucie, Stuart, Jupiter, and Palm Beach Gardens. And so that you get a good idea of where we've been in these markets and where we're going, I've prepared some graphs for you that's going to explain exactly what's happening with pricing and demand in the real estate market nationwide, in Florida, and in these local markets. Also, we're going to look at predictions for the future in 2022 and what 2023 and 2024 could look like. And then I'm going to give you my opinion of where I think things could go and some information that you may not have heard about, where banks are talking about where rates could be in fourth quarter. But before we get started, if this is the first time you've been to my site, don't forget to slap that subscribe button, or you can tap it, or you can click it, and then ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our real estate tips and tours. So let's get into it. To get started, let's first compare seller traffic to buyer traffic, meaning how many homes are coming on the market and how many buyers are looking to buy those homes. If you look at this first graph, you'll notice that there's an ice blue section that shows you that in those markets, the real estate market, as far as sellers putting their homes on the market, is very, very weak. And then you can see that the lighter market includes Florida, which shows us still a very, very weak seller traffic, meaning not a lot of homes coming on the market right now. As you can see from the graph, buyer traffic as of 2022 is very, very strong still. So there is a lot of buyers still in the market looking for homes. So what we're looking at is a supply and demand problem. And as long as we see that the supply of homes stays low and the demand for those homes stay high, we're going to see a continuation of upper pressure on the market as far as prices go. But when you look at these two graphs, you're going to see there is some relief with more inventory coming on the market as of February and March. So let's first look at the month over month in February, and you can see that as far as Florida goes, inventory was down by 10.7%. But if we look at March month over month, we can see from February to March, inventory is only down by 0.5%. So we're seeing some improvement in the market right now as far as inventory. And then to give buyers around the country a little bit more hope, you can see from this graph from Realtor.com showing the spread from 2021 to 2022. Look at the green, that's 2021. And the blue is 2022. So since January, we've had an upward movement in inventory hitting the market. And as far as March goes, we're up almost 100,000 listings nationwide. So we are seeing more listings coming on the market, but it's still not enough to cover the demand that we're seeing. But where are we specifically in the Treasure Coast in northern Palm Beach County? Well, let's break down each market from Port St Lucie to Palm Beach Gardens and see where we stand. So let's start in Port St Lucie. By looking at this graph, you can see that the median list price for a home in Port St Lucie from November 2021 rose dramatically to February 2022, but has now dropped from over 430,000 down to a little over 408,000. And as of April, we're seeing the median list price a little above 413,000. So prices have definitely started to come down in Port St Lucie from February to April. And from February to March, looking at this graph, you're seeing that more homes have been sold as of March than were in February. But pay attention to this, that 43% of all the homes sold were sold over asking price. Only 115 homes were sold under asking, and 101 homes were sold at asking. So we're still seeing more homes being sold over asking price. So that means there's still bidding wars going on in Port St Lucie. Moving on to Stuart in Martin County, looking at this graph, we're seeing the same thing basically we're seeing in Port St Lucie, where in February the median list price was over 650,000, but in March we're down to the median list price being at about 550,000 and going up just a tad in April up to 580,000. And then if we look at the number of homes being sold in Stuart, in February there was 157 homes sold, and in March there was 167 homes sold. But you're seeing pretty much the same thing, where 62 homes were sold over asking price, meaning bidding wars. 64 of them were sold under asking, meaning that those were probably overpriced. And then 41 of the homes were sold at asking. Just a little caveat, when we're seeing these homes where the prices are dropping, it's more than likely because the property was overpriced. Buyers this year since January have been way more price conscious than they were last year. People aren't just throwing money at houses like they were, especially in St. Lucie and Martin County. And now we're moving on to Jupiter, where you can see from this graph that the median list price in January and February was almost $1.3 million for single family homes, and then has dramatically dropped in March to 849,000 and basically stayed the same in April at a little above 862,000. And then on this graph we're seeing again, number of homes being sold in February were 82 and increasing to 116 in March. But again, 53 homes were sold over asking, 40 sold under asking, and 23 were sold at asking. And then moving on to Palm Beach Gardens, we're seeing that in December 2021, the median list price of homes were close to $1 million, and then fluctuating through January to February, and then March we're at 887,000. In April we're at a median list price of 892,000, a little bit closer to 900,000. And then we can see from this graph, February we had 95 homes sold in Palm Beach Gardens, and in March we had 101 homes sold, but also seeing the same thing. 45 homes were sold over asking, 34 were sold under asking, and 22 were sold for asking. So we are seeing a pattern emerging in the market from Port St Lucie to Palm Beach Gardens, where we're seeing more homes coming on the market. We're seeing prices starting to come down, but we are seeing bidding wars going on still, but not as many as we had last year. So a little bit more normalization in the market, which is, I feel, a light at the end of the tunnel for buyers. But when this buying frenzy ends, nobody knows. But if rates continue to go up, it will push more and more people out of the market, making it easier for buyers to buy without as such bidding wars, and continue to slow prices down. And this is something that experts have forecasted. Take a look at this graph by Home Price Expectation Survey, which is a survey of market experts agreeing that 2022, we're going to see prices increase somewhere around 9% nationwide, but as of 2023, we're going to start seeing prices start to slow down. And as we move into 2026, we're going to see prices continuing to fall. Now, but keep in mind that these numbers that I'm showing you here are nationwide numbers. So Florida is just a tad different because we have so much business moving into Florida and so many people coming here right now. So that will put upward pressure on prices in Florida more than it would another state. And pre-COVID, prices in Palm Beach County were moving at about 3.5% to 5%. And in Port St Lucie, they were running about 10% a year. So, you know, you're still gonna see a good amount of equity in your home and in the market in Port St Lucie. I believe it will remain in the double digits. And that's just because there's so much land and there's so much new construction there, where Palm Beach County doesn't have as much land and new construction. And when there is new construction, most of it's over $1 million or it's townhomes. So when someone's looking for single family homes, Port St Lucie is still going to be a bargain for a long time. And keep in mind that these are all predictions. So, you know, nobody predicted rates would be at 5% already this year. Last year, it was predicted that rates would end up somewhere at the end of the year around 4%. We're already at 5%. We could be at 6% by the end of the year. And then if inflation keeps going, you know, that could change everything also. And my lender, Brent, if you will follow my channel, we do Tuesdays with Brent and Lee. You know, he was on a call a few weeks ago with lenders, and these banks are talking about if inflation continues to rise and we start seeing, you know, stagflation, that the Fed could actually lower rates again to fuel the housing market to keep the economy going. So if rates come down, then prices will continue to go up because more and more people will get back in the market buying houses with those lower rates. But leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me what you think about the real estate market here in Florida. Do you think that people are going to keep moving here and that prices are going to keep going up, or do you think we're getting close to the peak where prices have to slow down because people just can't afford them any longer? And if you found value in this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, I'm a real estate agent, so if you're looking to buy or sell a home anywhere in the Treasure Coast or Palm Beach County, my information's below. Please reach out to me. We'd love to help you. And don't forget, if this is the first time you've been to my site or you've never subscribed, go ahead and slap that subscribe button right there and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our real estate tips and tours. And you can watch our next video on where to find the best mortgage rate right there, because that's really, really important, especially now with rates just climbing. Be kind to each other, and I'll see you next time.